let's talk about this one. Scrapping off E Levy and COVID-19, a call in the right direction. Philip, is that a call in the right direction?
Well, I guess I thought you would rather allow Honorable to start first, because it's about what Okujetu was talking about. It probably might give us some more insight, because he may be closer to him. But the point is that we all saw what happened. I think, was it? Yes, I was monitoring a program over the weekend. No, I think, yes, yesterday morning on a different network. And the host was talking about the fact that he himself was even shocked about some of the things that the president recited, or when in the course of his presentation, as to really the effects and the issues that came up during the COVID era. The impacts, what people went through. And some people were also telling their stories about what really happened to this country. Remember, a number of people in this country died as a result of this. Some families, as we speak, are still struggling. We had a situation where businesses across the country were virtually shut. People, I remember, were trying to run away from Accra to other villages. We saw the situation where food had to be supplied to a number of people. I mean, SOS. We had such situations where workers had to stay in the house for almost a year. Students had to be managed in one way or the other. Schools had to be disinfected. And a whole lot of measures were taken. A lot of things happened in this country. But sometimes, see, when you forget immediately what happened, the magnitude of the impacts, that is what will lead you to make such comment. Because you assume that, oh, the amount of debts, or the amount of debt, I'm talking about a hole that was created by the COVID. The measures, the figures that have been bandied about, I've heard the number of people, mention a number of figures. Quite deep, because when you have a situation where, look, I went to one of the hotels in Accra, Movenpick, for a business meeting during the COVID era, and I was shocked. I entered, there was virtually no single soul. And I asked myself, this huge facility that has to be maintained on a daily basis by a number of staff, and not even one client is moving in, moving out. That should tell you the impact on even all other hotels and other businesses, other companies. Where I work, we had to go on a break. All workers had to go and stay in the house. We had to find extra money to support them. The impact on the economy, and when we're talking about the economy, it's not just about what affects the government, but it's about what affects everybody. Because if my business privately is affected by COVID, it means that the tax I'll be paying to government will definitely not be that, enough. The argument is that, oh, but we received some COVID funding.
Exactly.
How much is that compared to the impact on the country? That is what people probably sometimes don't put their minds to. I'm saying, if it's just 2:2, then there is no need for us to even keep the taxes there. You understand? But as long as the economy is clearly showing that that impact is really on the economy, on Ghanaians, even till today, at least we must be patient a little bit. Allow the tax to do some work. After some time, I'm very sure that the government will come back and take it off. But for you to just assume that simply because IMF has come, simply because President announced that medically, medically, they said the COVID is no more, case.
A pandemic.
A pandemic, simply because the president said that. Then the next day, we should go to parliament, and then we do. Is that how we run government?
But why should we be paying for something that doesn't exist any longer? and something that you received a lot of revenue
That's
for.
all that I said. The question you were just asking, it doesn't exist. The thing, so the fact that I slapped you, the slap is not continuing. I just slapped you, and you are in a difficult situation. You are experiencing health conditions. Why do you have to go to the hospital when the slapping is not continuing? I slapped you, and then suddenly you are in a very difficult health condition. You are treating the health condition. That's why you have to be at the hospital. And you continue to treat the health condition until you are better. But the fact that I'm not where the one who slapped you is not around, there's nobody slapping you. When you go to the hospital should ask you to go home. Who slapped you? And the person, there is nobody to show that the person is slapping you. I mean, that's the point I'm saying from what you are asking me. See, I think we should be patient. Politics is the end game is to develop this country. The end game is to help the citizens of this country to survive. The challenges, the problems, the debts, the kind of hole that was created by this particular problem has to be properly filled. And I'm sure that looking at the challenges that we've gone through over the period, which has not been easy for this country, I believe that giving a little bit of time, we'll be able to recover, and probably if there is a need for these things to be, because for me, I pay COVID levy every month. When I'm doing my tax, this thing, I pay COVID levy every month. I'm not comfortable when I'm doing this thing, the tax the computations, and then I get to that 1%, and then I add it. I'm not comfortable. I pay it. I'm not comfortable.
And also on the issue of the E Levy, it was a promise that if approved, it means Ghana will not go to the IMF. And then eventually it failed. We went to the IMF. So if it has failed, and if the government says it did not meet its targeted revenue in the E Levy mobilization, why don't you scrap it off? Because eventually you've gone to the IMF. Why are you still paying for that one?
The professionals that actually handle the IMF processes, the discussions and everything, both the international and then the Ghanaian professionals that sat down together and then discussed the modalities or issues, they saw the E Levy in there. You understand? If they found it to be injurious to us, they found it to be unnecessary, it should have been taken out. But in the minds and the wisdom of the professionals, they felt that it should be left.
But that was
there.
what you told Ghanaians, not the professionals.
You see, the point is not about we told Ghanaians. The point is about healing the wound. Healing the wound. And what we need to heal the wound, the bottom line is money.
Even if you have to be double charged for it.
Nobody is doubling it.
Does it not look like a double charge?
No.
The E Levy is there and then the IMF is there. That was a condition.
I don't know. The IMF, is there a charge on us? It's just a loan facility we have been given.
Exactly.
So there is no double charge. I'm just talking about the fact that it is how you estimate the problem. You see, for some people, probably the opposition, they want Ghanaians to assume, to see the thing as if, there is nothing. There is no problem. There was no COVID issue. Nothing happened in this country. That's what they will say, basically. So for them, they are looking for all ways and means to ensure that the government will be frustrated, it cannot succeed, it will run out of cash or even funding to be able to take care of this country. I mean, that's their objective. Because if you hear some of these things they are talking about, it's as if everything is about how do we also come at government. And they pretend as if they are speaking for the people of this country. By saying, looking at the tax measures, they are too much. If it's about taxes, it's rather this government that reduced taxes a lot. There's almost about 17 taxes that we reduced. I think we should take some of these things quite seriously.
Okay.